This is
Baby Safety with Dakota and Matthew.
Don't leave your baby in the bath unattended.
This might happen.
I'll be right back, baby. My baby! You're making a new one.
Also, remember to remove electronics away from the bathtub. It could cause injury and or death towards your baby.
Make sure to never leave your baby unattended in the tub to prevent that from happening.
Also, grab your baby appliances before placing your baby in the tub.
Nearly 90 babies die of drowning in the tub every year.
Also, remember to check the temperature because the water could leave burn marks on your baby.
Oh my baby, I love you, baby. So sweet,
This
baby.
is a great show. Oh no! Oh.
Make sure your TV is always connected to a wall or something that'll support it so your TV can't fall on your baby. In order to prevent this from happening, always make sure that your baby has no access up to a high table.
Also remember to keep hot drinks away from your baby. They might get burned if it overturns on them.
Now that we got our TV all hooked up somewhere safe, it won't fall on our baby.
But our baby is trying to stick a knife in the outlet.
We can't have that happening.
No, we cannot.
Let's fix this. To prevent your baby from sticking knives and such other things in outlets, you can get a baby safety cover. Usually plastic, and they just cover the outlets so your baby can't stick their knives in their outlets. But we're going to use our own. So you're just going to place our own new baby safety piece of duct tape over that outlet. Now look. He can't stop it. Always, no matter what, you need to cover your outlets so your baby cannot stick metal things inside of them. Here, we don't have a baby cover for this outlet, but instead, we can just pull something over to block the outlet itself. Now, no matter what, can't get to the outlet. My baby! My baby! To prevent this from happening to your baby, make sure to always check around the car before you begin to pull back. And look at your backup camera if you do have one. This is a story about a little girl who sadly passed at a very young age.
Annie was a little girl who sadly passed on 1993 and was only 2 months old.
It was a bright sunny day when Annie's mother, Mary, heard her father, Josh, screaming.
Mary ran up to Annie's bedroom to find out what was happening when suddenly she found Annie slumped over her crib lifelessly.
After Mary and Josh both attempted to give Annie CPR, they called the police, and once the ambulance arrived, they pronounced Annie dead on scene.
Sadly, what happened to Annie is a tragic story.
When Annie was playing on that sunny afternoon in her bedroom without any warning or suspicion, Annie's dresser with a fish tank on top was full of the family two pet fish, fell down, hitting Annie directly in the head. This is Annie, not Annie.
Go.
Oh, there you go. Once the father discovered Annie lifeless hanging on her crib,
He called Mary up to the bedroom and said they started doing CPR, and sadly Annie was pronounced dead that day.
it doesn't take long for a child that young to die.
Children need to be watched almost constantly.
And a house always needs to be baby-proofed. That's our first story.
Joshua died in February 2006, aged nearly 5 months.
On September 19th, 2005, my oldest child, Tanya, went into the hospital to have her labor introduced. It was her first baby. I was so excited. She asked me to be her birth partner along with her fiance Lee. I was over the moon and I felt extremely honored. The thought of seeing my first grandchild being born was a bit scary. I wasn't sure how I was going to cope with seeing my little girl going through the pain of childbirth. I knew it was going to be difficult, yet the most amazing experience of my life. Once I wouldn't have missed for the world.
Joshua arrived in only 3 hours and was absolutely gorgeous. I loved him instantly. He was my grandson and I was so proud of him. I couldn't wait to show him off. I took photos, a lot of photos, from every angle, every expression.
Okay, sure. On February 14th, 2006, my husband, Paul, Tanya, and Lee, I decided to go out for Valentine's meal together. I can't read this. We were only out for an hour and a half because Tanya and Lee didn't like going out and leave Joshua for long. I can't. He stayed at home with his great nanny and his uncles. When we got back to Lee, we went home as he was working the following day. Tanya intended to leave Joshua with me the next day as she was decorating their new flat, so they were both going to stay the night.
At 10 o'clock, Tanya went up to get Josh from his travel cot for his last feed. He was lovely at that time of the night. All smiles, that is the moment that our world fell apart. I can still hear Tanya screaming now, "Mom, my baby is dead! Help me, my baby is dead!" Then it was sheer panic. I remember seeing her holding Joshua at the top of the stairs, and I knew it was true. The terror on her face said it all. She was looking at me with pleading eyes like I should do something. All that what moms do, isn't it? They make it all better except this time it wasn't going to happen. I didn't know what to do. I felt useless.
I started mouth to mouth trying to follow the instructions I was being given over the phone. It wasn't working. He was just lifeless. It went on for what seemed like forever until the ambulance men arrived. I can remember thinking, this is not real. It must be a nightmare.
You know, why can't you be a better parent?
You know what? I'm done! No! Yeah!
Cocomelon!
I remember thinking, this is not real. It must be a nightmare. Everyone was so happy. What do I say? What do I say? What? How the thing